It was embarrassing.
My biggest takeaway watching it on TV, and so you probably didn't get exactly the sense, but if you watch replays, you might. And I'm sure this has been covered ad nauseum on sports radio already.
Yeah.
People bitching about Patricia's appearance. It's like it's such a triggering thing that TV networks do. Whether it's Harbaugh losing at Notre Dame, they put the camera on him every chance you get.
Yes,
so people are, God damn that guy, he's failing.
Yeah.
And they just every other second going to Patricia and putting it on this big fucking goofy bearded asshole with his stupid hat on backward and his pencil in his ear.
It all works if you win. If you lose, it
looks like a complete dolt, man.
Right, yeah. Dude, I saw him doing an interview, like pre-game interview over the weekend, about the upcoming season. He's in studio with the pencil in his ear.
So stupid.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, whatever. If you want to be on the sidelines, it reminded
me of my feelings about Morningweg. When Morningweg came aboard, and I was like, oh, okay, this has promise. And then he got to the mic and he was like, the bar is high. I was like, oh no, that's his voice.
He can't speak like a human.
That's his cadence. Oh no, he's gonna get chewed up and spit out, and he did. And both of these guys, despite their appearance, might be very good football minds, etc., and might do a good job as coordinators. But dude, you got to smooth out all the obstacles you can. And when you specifically have that appearance, you choose that appearance.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm not saying like, oh, his nose is too big or his hair color is stupid. Dude, you choose to have that dumbass fucking beard.
Well, I shaved
and
it
that
dumb
for the
press
fucking
conference.
pencil behind your ear and that dumb fucking hat on backward. You choose to look like that.
Would
and
you care if he won, though? You wouldn't. But it's like he comes from the Belichick tree, which, the cut off.
I'm
like,
just
who
saying,
wears a
dude,
sweatshirt with cut off sleeves?
He is going to lose. Obviously, he lost a lot of people on Monday night, but dude, that is a problem for him. His appearance, basically his appearance.
I think you can smooth so much of that over though with wins. If you win, but
smooth everything over with wins,
dude. E and I were driving home listening to 97.1, and they were just up in arms, And the thing that I heard over and over again from them, from the hosts, and from callers was Patricia's lost the team. Like, they're not playing for him. Do you think it's too early to say that, or?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I hate going to games because I like listening to analysts. I like seeing replays, all that kind of stuff, and you couldn't do that at the game. But I could look down the sideline and see that Matt Patricia was alone. There was nobody around him for most of that game.
Supposedly that's what Belichick does, right? So he, I guess, does whatever Belichick does, except win.
Oh, I mean, do you think it's over?
Dude,
like, watching that performance was...
No, I think chances are he'll settle into something. But the biggest fucking piece of bullshit is this team, as discussed, was 9-7 last year, and this was not billed as a rebuild.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? We're 9-7, but that's an illusion. We're really quite a.
So this is supposed to be bringing like a Larry Brown in to
go to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so now that's going to be the sell job now as well, and they started to do it in the preseason. You heard a little bit of rumblings that, well, you know what, we do have a long way to go. Like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
You had one game to go. You were one game away from making the playoffs.
Yeah. And you made the playoffs the last couple of years before that. And that's why it was so hard when it was like Caldwell was blown out. It was like, well, all right, well, I guess if Patricia's
that was the Rick Carlisle fire. It was
right,
the same as you just indicated. You get rid of Rick Carlisle because you don't think he can take you to the next level. You bring in LB, and boom, the Pistons rise.
Close the thing. There's a lot being made about all these coaches that have left the Belichick tree and have just flopped miserably. And you just hope, because it's a different gig. I'm sorry, if you're responsible for the offensive line or the defense or the secondary, it's like that's what you focus on. And you've brought it up before, Jay, about like what is on the plate of these guys when you have to deal with everything. And it's just a different world. And so that's the risk with bringing a guy like that in. You just don't know. You don't know.
You become a manager and a delegator rather than hands-on, and you've got to understand how to do that. He's never done that even at the high school level. So he's been a coordinator the whole time.
Well,
good luck to him. It's impossible to say, as he lost the team and this and that.
Yeah.
Who knows? They'll get a really rough start here because they've got a tough schedule. But they'll win. They're not going to fucking lose every fucking game. They're not going to, Stafford has
they've done it before.
Worst game of his career. Good point. Worst game of his career. That's not going to happen every time. The kicker Prater's not going to miss shit like he did.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking shitstorm, man.
No, you could see it unfold. Our seats were above, obviously pretty high above the field, and you could see things develop. And it was like, oh, that guy's fucked. That's a touchdown. Yeah. Why? It looked to me like guys didn't care, like guys were quit. And I don't know if that was like, well, yeah, we're getting our asses kicked. This game's out of reach, so we quit. But you don't ever want to see that out of a pro team on any level. You know what I mean? You're just taking a knee. Even with 30 seconds left in the game, they're taking a fucking knee to end the game. Like, dude, I don't know, man. That was bad. To come out on national TV like that, just bad.
Overall, the atmosphere there looked and sounded horrible on TV, as you might imagine it would. I just think that the look of there's just zero tradition with the Lions. You see Ford
what about
Field.
Forward down the field?
Honestly, that's the one thing I thought of. I'm like, is there any fucking thing? It's forward down the field. That's it. Everything else, it's like even the graphics on the walls and stuff. It just looks cartoonish and stupid. it just looks second rate. Honestly, like, are you really in the same league as teams like New England?
It doesn't look like it, does it?
No,
I mean, it's just bad. Just bad.
The NTL, the National Tackle League, needs relegation, like international soccer does, where the bottom teams they fall out. You don't perform, you fall out. You're out of the top tier.
Yeah.
And the tier from the next division move up. Put in Alabama. Put in Clemson.
Could you imagine Alabama? I mean, I think like
ditch the Browns and the Lions.
10 of 11 guys were drafted early from Alabama. They probably could compete at this point. Yeah, it was heartbreaking to be like, this team wasn't that far off. Like, this is just, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough to watch. And he was outwardly laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my way of dealing with the Lions now.
It has to be. That's reasonable. I've said it over and over and over the years here that like, what consumer just keeps taking this in? What other product do you buy where it's you go to Subway and you get a shit sandwich 5 out of 9 times that you go there?
You
actual
wouldn't go
shit.
there.
Actual shit inside there. They're serving you shit, but you keep going back to Subway. Why?
Yeah, you wouldn't do.
Wait until they serve all wait until they serve all Kowalski quality meats.
There you go.
And then you go to Subway. Until then, I'm not getting shit.
E was laughing, like vocally, loudly laughing in the suite. He didn't give a shit. And I
was a defense mechanism.
It is a defense mechanism. It's not
but
really.
He seemed genuine, though.
You genuinely need to let this go, Isis. I'm telling you, it'll change your life.
It already
he did.
You do too.
I already have.
I do.
And everybody out
did.
there.
I'm telling you, he did, man.
No, Jay, that's the point I have.
The days of E, like whipping his fucking hard hat down the street. He's like, we're walking down. He's like,
and then going and collecting the hat.
And sheepishly go over and collect his hat. Like, he's like, yep, this is where I whipped it. It was on that street next to Tiger Stadium. And it was like, oh, this is where it was. And where did you have to go collect it from, E? But he honestly didn't care.
Good.
And me, I thought I was bailing. I was like, yeah, I don't care as much to watch these games. I fell asleep during the Niner game. Whatever. I'm trying to take that approach, and I found myself depressed in that suite. And depressed and not talking the entire way home. And it was like, no, this affected me. Why does this fucking affect me like this? This isn't healthy. It's not right. Like, dude, I was seriously bummed out. And it's like, well, what do you expect?
And I guess the counter is, well, it's tackle ball. And, it's the thing I like to watch on Sundays, and it's tradition, and this is the home team. Dudes, I don't know what else you need to see. I mean, pick another tackle ball team. Pick the Vikings.
Well, I can't do that. Here's the last thing I'll say about my thing. I was laughing, like I said. He's right. I've gone away from it. I don't watch, not because I don't have an emotional connection. I don't watch because if I watch, I will get mad. If I don't watch, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I don't watch and I go running and I just look and see what they did, I just go, oh, they lost.
You were there in person and didn't care.
Yeah, but I was.
But that laughing, it didn't feel fake either. It did not feel like.
But that laughing was me. That was my way of not sitting in a suite throwing something.
Yeah, but when a real emotion hits you, it's like you can't help but have an outburst. Like, fuck this.
That was me doing that, though.
But you weren't. You were laughing like, I expect this from this shit team.
I was laughing via text with you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Did you pick up on that?
Oh.
The ha 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 4 lines of ha 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 ha.
Dude, I know. People were texting me from all over the country. Fox texted me from Colorado and was like, yep, the ESPN just left the broadcast.
That's awesome.
They bailed. ESPN was like, we've had enough, and bailed on the fucking broadcast, which is hilarious if you think about it. Oh, my God.
What a mess.
Miserable. We'll see. I guess, week 2 will be interesting to see what this team does. What do they got, the Niners this week? And then, like, the Vikings and New England and the Patriots. They're fucked, man. This is going to be an ugly stretch. It doesn't matter though. Are you worried about the hurricane coming to
Florence?
to hit the country? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not good, Mike.
I mean,
it's hitting as we speak, I believe.
I thought it was tomorrow that they think
okay.
impact what the coasts will be. This fucking better deliver, god damn it.
It's been hyped.
If I get into this goddamn storm, which I want to do, I'm not opposed to getting into a storm. But if it takes a turn and goes east back into the ocean, so help me God.
If I find.
And if I find.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
At least 25 million residents on the East Coast are at risk from Hurricane Florence. How do we feel about the name Florence?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of par for the course, you know.
Hurricane Ivan.
Yeah, they skip every letter is a male, female, male, female.
Yeah, they do male, female.
We've had worse, I guess, than Florence.
Yeah. Well, this one looks like it's going to be fucking bad, dude. Expected to deliver a direct hit, bringing 157-mile-an-hour winds, devastating flooding. The hurricane has sparked mass evacuation with as many as 1.5 million people warned to seek shelter from the storm. 5 million under direct hurricane warning. This will likely be the storm of a lifetime for portions of the Carolina coast. That's according to the National Weather Service. But they've been wrong before, like the day before.
Man, you just said something. I'm just jotting it down. It sounds like a song lyric that might work.
What do you get?
Seek shelter from the storm. Okay, go on.
I think Dylan's already used it.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shelter from the storm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he said seek. Not to be confused with our friends, the Seek. So anyway, it was upgraded to a Category 4. They said it could be up to a Category 5 by the time it hits land. This will be a dangerous major hurricane before making landfall. FEMA said the biggest danger was storm surge, a wall of water from the sea which could reach 20 feet high. Some areas could get hit with 20 inches of rain. That's the biggest potential, like, kill people, they say, is the flooding and all that kind of stuff. So it's the strongest storm to hit the Carolinas and Virginia region, that whole area, in decades. This storm will and has the potential to cause loss of life. We cannot emphasize the importance to take action now.
Well, of course it does.
I mean, don't they all?
They're just trying to get the message across.
I know.
The more they can say it,
I know.
Maybe that little old lady will decide to actually leave this time.
It's like a fucking thunderstorm could.
I love seeing the guy. They love getting a camera on the guy in the news. It's like, I ain't going nowhere. I've been here for thousands of storms, and this one's no different. I ain't going nowhere. You know, you're like, okay, dude.
Well, and of course, we have to get the news reporters down there, right, so we can see the wind.
Oh my God!
Why do they need to be there? There's no reason for it.
They're in the way. They're absolutely in the way. See that guy in a torrential downpour with the wind blowing past him?
Yeah, reporting that it's quite windy as you see just palm trees just bent over.
Well, plus you have think about this. Like, if you think about it, you have reporters there telling people like it would be irresponsible for citizens not to leave.
Yeah.
Well, why are you there? Like, couldn't someone just
simply to get clicks?
The reporter's there. Why can't I just leave or stay?
They said that the flooding could result in the deaths of thousands of Perus.
Oh no!
Yeah, there's all kinds of Perus. So then people are just abandoning it. Like, well, I got to get out of here, but I can't take all my horses with me.
Remember that little guy down in Houston last year, or whatever, where he was pictured. An image was taken of the little poops running down the street with his bag of food in his mouth.
Yes, that guy was awesome. I gotta get out of here, but I need my brown circles.
Just looking down the road.
Don't they say animals will give warning though too? Like when what was the one that brought the tsunami? And it was like all of a sudden all the poops were like, oh, I got to get out of here. And they hightailed it to high ground. Yeah, they sensed it, you know, and then people were like, why are all the poops going up the hill? And they knew it was coming. So despite the evacuation order, South Carolina Department of Corrections said, yeah, we're not moving the inmates. Fuck them. Again, we feel like they're, you know, safest in here. Governor Ray Cooper said the waves and the wind this storm may bring is nothing like you've ever seen. Even if you've ridden out storms before, this one is different. Don't bet your life on riding out a monster. And so, yeah, they're running out of gas everywhere, all over there. I mean, the grocery stores are just gone with anything you'd want. So, yeah. Anyway, but I want people that are maybe listening in that area, and we do have some listeners in that area, not to fear because Pat Robertson has this shit.
Pat Robertson, okay, of the 700 Club. Formerly?
I was going to say the 500 Club, but it is the 700 Club, isn't it? Yeah, he's got this. He's got a long history of claiming that his prayers are so powerful they can knock hurricanes away, just bat them aside. Now he says he's established a hedge of protection around his area, and he's ordered Hurricane Francis to go back out to sea and not do any damage. You want to hear from him? He's got this shit. Maybe go ahead about 30 seconds, E.
Music.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought. I thought it was on fucking mute, and I was unmuting it, but I was switching to the next channel.
Where two of you agree on earth as touching anything that they will ask, it'll be done for them by my Father which is in heaven. Now, this is the same Jesus who commanded the wind and the waves when he was out on the Sea of Galilee. He said, peace, be still. Yep. And they said, what manner of man is this? The wind and the waves obey him. They will obey our voice if we are together with one accord. Now, together, I'm asking all of us to believe God. I don't want that thing to come in. I don't want it to hurt Region. I don't want it to hurt CBN. I don't want it to tear up these beautiful campus. I don't want to tear these trees down.
Sure.
I don't
Nobody
want to
does
see
that.
any
Nobody
damage.
does.
I don't want a bunch of glass flowing.
Is he a doctor
and
for
I
real?
don't want all over this area that's
PhD.
counting on us to pray for them.
Theology.
So I'm going to ask you right now, put your hand out toward the Atlantic,
Yes.
wherever it is.
Yes.
He doesn't even know
Now,
where it
let's
is.
speak
Shouldn't
the
even
word
looked up
right
ahead of
now.
time the direction of the
name
Atlantic.
Jesus. In the name of Jesus, you Hurricane Florence, we speak to you in
Now,
the
wait a
name
minute.
of Jesus.
Hell yeah.
And we command this storm to cease its forward motion and go harmlessly into the Atlantic.
Yes.
Go up north, away from land, and veer off in the name of Jesus. We declare in the name of the Lord that you shall go no farther, you shall do no damage in this area. We declare a
got this.
shield of
You got this, Pat.
protection all over Tidewater. And we declare a shield of protection over those innocent people in the path of this hurricane.
Amen.
In Jesus' holy name, be out to sea.
Yes.
In Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord.
This reminds me of the classic Lord of the Rings scene where Gandalf, says, "You shall not pass" to the Balrog.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, I would tell people that are there and told to be evacuating. Robertson already has.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just stay where you are. I command you in the name of Jesus to go back out to sea. It's a cheap, a lot of these things do turn last minute and go back out to sea. So, does he get credit if that happens?
What
Does he
happens
get
if
the
it
claim?
doesn't? Then you just go, it wasn't God's will.
That was the gay's fault.
Yeah, it's the gay.
Blame
There must
the
have been a gay amongst us.
There was a gay who didn't feel it for real.
I think the issue could be he sat there and said, "Paint your hand wherever towards the Atlantic." He just put it out front, and then many
Yeah.
of the people just did it as if they were under normal prayer. They
The
weren't
hurricane may be confused. By
They
these
should have been
motions.
putting their hands in a more none of them seemed to have it in an odd direction.
It
It
would
was just,
be a uniform direction.
Yeah, it's
East
a good
point.
point, guys. It's a good point. He can blame that. Now that this has smashed land and killed 1,000 people, the problem was, in the name of Jesus, that I was pointing towards the Atlantic and you guys were not. You were pointing towards me. That was the big problem. But hopefully Pat knows what he's talking about, and hopefully it does turn back out to sea. Not for me. I mean, if I'm being warned this much and this much coverage is going on TV, I
want it to happen?
Yeah, I do.
You want damage to be done?
I want it to
Lives to be lost?
Sure. Not a lot, but, a couple here and there. Maybe some old people. Sure. Inmate or two.
Hey, how long have you been with your grill friend? Kowalski Sausages knows that when you find the right grill, you never need a reservation. She's the perfect plus one. There for you in the good weather and the bad, grilling up some delicious Kowalski sausages, hot dogs, and kielbasas until rust do you part.
Steve Eiserman.
Yeah,
Did you see that news explode yesterday?
I did.
Take the world by storm?
Did.
What do you think?
The world.
It was
Boy.
trending on Twitter huge. It was huge on Twitter.
Yeah, in Detroit, I'm sure.
Is that all regional? You always say that. Is that all regional?
Yeah, dude.
God damn it.
Some of them are. Some will show you
I
regional.
think it should be obvious
trending.
who what's national and
Of
I
course,
agree,
like,
man.
like Mark D'Antonio is trending. You think it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
9 times out of 10 that's regional.
I don't like that. I want SI covers to be SI covers. Not
Well, you
regional
have
covers.
indicated when you signed up as a Twitter profile, you indicated like what your interest in and what your region is.
Yeah.
You did something to indicate to them that that's what you care about.
So the Lions weren't taking up 9 out of 10.
They, hashtag Monday Night Football, that was probably up there, you know, but
yeah.
But yeah, Matt Patricia probably was not trending nationally.
So Yzerman is stepping down as the GM of the Lightning, and a lot of people have wanted him to come back here. What does that mean for the Wings? Is he going to come back to Detroit? According to sources, some players have told the reporters that Yzerman told us he wants to go home to Detroit.
Okay.
And so people don't know. Does he just mean his home, which he still has in Detroit, or does he mean the like? Yeah, he means his home. He wants to go home and mow his lawn. It's like, no, of course that would mean the Red Wings, right?
Well, is there some reason, like family-wise or something, that he just needs to be here? Is there some like?
Not that I know
report of that.
Like, no, and of course no one's saying a word, so you don't really, who knows? But he's got one more year left on his contract with the Lightning. Will now take a senior advisory role with the team. I don't know what the hell that means, but during a press conference in April, Kenny Holland sounded open to adding to the front office. He's noting some guys that have left, and
he should be. He needs all the help he can get.
Yeah.
Ken Holland, he has shown not to know what the fuck he's doing ever since salary became an issue.
Yeah.
When he could just pay anybody whatever they wanted, and Ilitch was willing to throw out, just open checks at the trade deadlines, he looked like a master.
Yeah. Well, I'll admit I have not followed the Wings as much, but I am shocked whenever I see Kenny Holland's name like trending, or like people fucking hate him around here right now. Probably for the very reason that you just mentioned. I
think they, look behind the curtain for the Wizard, and
there was a time when Jimmy DeVillano lived in Detroit. He doesn't anymore. I had Jim Nill here. Steve Yzerman retired, and we brought him on board. Scotty Bowman was a consultant. I had more voices, and we had a lot of success. Could we use another person that has that experience to join us? It's something I'm considering.
Could we use him to take over my job? I don't know. I mean, dude, he's going to be after your... He's not just going to come in there and then have Kenny Holland... Like, he's going to be doing your job, dude, if he comes.
Yeah. Didn't McCarty say Yzerman's going nowhere until he wins whatever with Tampa Bay?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he might have said it during a show that we did off the air, one of our practice shows, but he seemed to think that he will come back at some point. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
But he thought he'd want to finish the job first in Tampa Bay. So I don't know. We'll see.
They should have done it this year for him. It's a freaking Tiger situation. They were up 3-2 in the finals. That's not his fault. I mean, Christ.
Yeah, he did what he had to do. But I'd like to see him back in town. I mean, if he's as great as everybody thinks he is,
Sure.
Mind-wise, I know Jay doesn't.
He's fine.
Should we talk about your stance on the captain?
Didn't we do that with McCarty?
We did. I don't know if that aired.
Air?
I don't know if that aired. Yeah, Jay called.
Did
it?
Yes.
On Darren's show or on our show?
I thought we did. Never mind. I don't know.
Anyway, my basic premise was, my question has always been like, was he just a media darling? Like, did he get more credit as a quote captain, a silent leader than he maybe deserved? I'm not doubting, I'm not questioning what he did on the ice in terms of numbers and production and so forth. But it always just seemed to me like, all right, is this guy, and you always say like, oh, he's a quiet leader. Barry Sanders was a quiet leader. He led by example. No, dude, Barry Sanders was not a leader at all.
Yeah.
So my question to McCarty was he really a leader? What were, and he was like, fuck, dude.
I think he literally
100%.
said, fuck, dude. He's like, that's why I love you, man, because you'll ask me questions that no one will ask me. How dare you ask if Steve Yzerman was a good leader? He was shocked.
Like, tell me the honest truth, dude. Was any of that a facade? Was any of that just pumped up? He's like, I'm telling you, he was even a better leader than what they portrayed him as. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Would have been awesome if he was like, dude, no one's ever asked me that. But honestly, behind the scenes, fuck, dude.
It wouldn't have surprised me. That's kind of why. That's why I asked it.
Like, you have these thoughts, like, ask Jay how he feels about Barry Sanders. Ask Jay how he feels about Verlander. Like, the greatest names in Detroit
I try to put emotion
history
aside and just think about shit,
Yeah. What was it with Yzerman? Was it just like him not being more vocal? Or?
He just wasn't one of my favorite players, and it was sort of like, why not? Why don't you love him? That's Stevie, and I was just like,
the captain.
I don't know. Yeah, he's good. Like, he just wasn't one of my favorites, and I felt like resentment toward people who were pounding it in my head. You gotta love this guy. You gotta love this guy. You gotta love him. And so that started getting me questioning, like, is he really that great?
Is he the leader we're all supposed to believe he is? No. What McCarty said was Yzerman didn't talk a lot, but when he did, he could literally end you in a sentence. Like, he was brutal. Mm-hmm. He'd hit you with a samurai sword, and you didn't even know you were hit until you were like, oh, well, I'm cut in half now, thanks to Yzerman. But I think what he was saying, too, was that Yzerman really led the locker room, where you had all these guys, you had Hall of Famers, you had young kids, you had all these things, and it's like Yzerman knew how to get control of this whole thing. And it's like, Brett Hull, you deal with these guys, and whoever you deal with the grind line. You know, you're part of the grind line, and you keep them in line. And so he'd give positions out, and you know, just kind of keep order in the locker room where you got a bunch of different ages and personalities and stuff like that. I think that's what McCarty was saying most.
Yeah, and I think there's a way to look at Yzerman during his career and go and wonder, as I did, like, is this guy like? Does he feel like he's kind of above some of the other? You know what I mean? He's the stature. He doesn't talk like the other guys do to the media. He kind of gives short answers, this and that, and so you just sort of wondered about it.
Yeah, and then we wondered the same thing with Barry.
And I think Barry's directly opposite of what you just described as Yzerman. I think that was a weird dude who just happened to be fucking badass running back on some plays.
3 out of 4 plays. But boy, oh boy, those
two out of four. Two out of 4.
Even less than that, dude. Honestly, if you
one out of 7.
Dude, how frustrating was it to watch a guy like?
Yeah, anybody younger than like 35 right now is going, what are you talking about? Like Barry Sanders, he's ranked.
Seen all the
like,
highlights.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
He was one of the most frustrating players and one of the most exciting players you'd ever see.
If you're being honest with yourself, like, dude, how many games did this happen, Jay?
Drive killer.
Where you'd be like, oh, -1. Oh, second down, -2.
Third and 14, incomplete.
Incomplete.
You know, 3 and out.
And then once, twice a game, he'd bust a 60-yarder and usually get caught from behind before reaching the end zone and then kick a field goal.
You couldn't get any rhythm to the game because you just kill drives like crazy.
You love that about Emmitt Smith. You can talk about the line, you know, oh, he had an amazing line, but he didn't get tackled for a loss. But Barry lost more yardage than anybody. I mean, dancing and weaving and all that shit, he just did. So if you just watch highlights of him, you don't fully grasp how frustrating that was.
You have to watch full seasons of the guy to understand.
Yeah.
Back when they actually were Honolulu blue and silver. Now they're that weird blue, that royal blue. Why did they do that?
I don't know. I don't like
Speaking
it.
of lack of tradition,
knows?
like that
I
was,
like the
that
new
was
helmet though, the silver, you know, and the stripe on the helmet.
If they had Honolulu blue on it,
no, I mean,
it'd be fine.
I want the colors how Jay just described. I want the Honolulu blue and silver. That's their fucking thing. It's their colors, by the way, or it was, and now we have to sit. I know, and now we have to sit here with this bullshit. The team doesn't even win.
And anybody who's wondering, what the fuck are you guys talking about? They're still Honolulu. Look it up.
They're
not.
Look
up 1986 versus yesterday's game, and you'll see it's completely different.
Big Herman Moore.
Anyway. You already know that Hamlin Pub is a great place to watch tackle ball games, or even for an evening out with your girl. But are you aware of Hamlin Pub's amazing Tuesday and Thursday food specials? Tuesdays, they're burger and brew days. That's an Angus burger, fries, and your choice of 12-ounce domestic beer or soda. Just $6.99. That's under $7, Mike.
I know.
If pizza's more your thing, then get there on Thursdays when you'll get half off all pizzas. These specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pub locations, those being Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township.
And we'll be out there on the 29th.
Yes, we will. Come out and see us.
Yeah. There's Barry. There's Honolulu.
I know it's Barry, but that's dude. That's the look. That's the look that I fucking love.
Yeah.
Those silver fucking pants, a Honolulu blue and silver.
Yeah.
It was a unique color. The idea that we kind of knew about
for
this
a team
Honolulu
with zero tradition,
right?
As we just talked about, you'd think they'd just keep that one thing.
Yeah. No, that is a cool looking uniform for sure. And they definitely don't have the same blue.
There he is, about to get tackled for a loss.
lost 2 against the Rams. Elizabeth Smart. Remember Elizabeth Smart?
Oh, yeah.
See, I think of her dad more than Ed Smart. She's playing the harp.
Yeah.
Have you seen Elizabeth playing the harp?
Come home to us.
And it was just like, dude, she's fucking dead.
Oh, yeah.
I've
never been
dead.
more convinced that a kidnapped girl was dead.
9 months? It's like, Ed,
when are they going to find a skull? When are they going to find a skull?
And a horribly abused vagine.
Yeah.
You know? She is not fucking happy today, Elizabeth.
She's what?
Packing on a few pounds. You noticed that? She was such a cute little girl, you know?
Gotta be honest, haven't seen Elizabeth Smart in a long time. Let me bing her.
Yeah. She's had a couple kids, in her defense. She's one of her kidnappers, the chick one, is being released after just 15 years behind bars. And, you know, the dude was the problem, for real. I mean, the wife was complicit in there, and I don't know why they're letting her out now, but...
Oh, she's so... gross looking, that greasy hair, those crazy eyes.
Hideous.
Whew.
She was, can you imagine? She's 14 years old, at home in bed, and Wanda Barzee and that fucking dude, Brian David Mitchell, take her. Can you imagine? Is there a bigger horror for a fucking family than your kid being stolen out of your house?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if it's like Hey, he's selling lemonade on the corner. He's got the fucking white van with, hey, I want some cookies.
No, the guy had done some work over at their house and scoped it out, right?
Yeah. Yep. For 9 months, this religion-obsessed couple kept her tied up in the woods where Mitchell raped her daily. I mean, that was her thing. Death threat. She was eventually rescued. A stranger saw the three of them. It's amazing, man. Some guy was watching America's Most Wanted and saw the story. Was like, hey, I think that's them, and turned him in. That show has really saved quite a few lives over the years from people, seeing details on that show. She was granted parole yesterday. It was
Wanda Barzee.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's a thing where
didn't she rape her too? Wasn't there some? No.
Did she? Maybe. I don't know.
I thought she was in on the sex.
Ugh, so fucking gross. Thinking about her and Brian David Mitchell, but like they're two really gross-looking people. But yeah, I think there was like 7 years between when they were arrested and when the trial happened, and so those 7 years she was in jail, and so I think she's getting credit for those now, and they were trying to not give her credit for those 7 years.
Yeah,
and that's what it comes down to. Smart said the decision was incomprehensible, and she was surprised and disappointed by it. Barzee pled guilty to kidnapping. She was sentenced to 15 years, but was then given credit for already spending 7 in custody. Mitchell, by the way, he was given back-to-back life sentences, so he's not going to be out anytime soon. In June, she urged the parole board not to grant the woman's release by saying she still carried a book which contains revelations her husband said he received from God, telling him to keep smart and kidnap other girls. In this manuscript, where the revelations Mitchell received from God to kidnap myself and 6 other young girls to be his wife, it also revealed his other highly disturbing and dangerous ideas. This is proof to me she has not changed. And if the prior 15 years hasn't changed her, I don't see how the future years will. If change were possible in her case, then perhaps parole release could be justified. Ed, her dad, is, of course, making comment, too. She's 30 now, by the way. I would hate for her to have the opportunity to do that again to someone else. Anyway, she's got a couple kids now. She's expecting a 3rd kid, too, in November. So she's got to be.
Yeah, this Barzee doesn't look like she was in on the raping, but yeah, she was definitely in on the taking and holding and keeping her for.
Where were they living? Weren't they in like the woods or some shit?
Yeah, they're in Utah.
Ugh, wow.
Out in the wilderness.
I would have no problem leaving her in jail for eternity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, what a crazy.
Sure, there's a big sad sack story about how Barzee was controlled by the guy
Mitchell,
and all this,
yeah.
just like she's really a victim, just like Elizabeth.
Sure. No. You helped kidnap her and keep her. Could have broken free anytime you wanted. See Norm Macdonald taking shit.
Yeah.
Is it better if you're like a known personality, just shut your mouth. Don't fucking, if the Me Too thing is brought up or anything else, you just go, yeah, I don't know, man, I don't comment on that.
Yeah, unless Twitter is necessary for like your business, your entertainment business. Like
yeah.
I stay the fuck off that,
Yeah.
as anybody who's notable. And certainly, to your point, Mike, I would not be speaking up on social issues like that.
What is the possible good? Like, honestly, even if it's your opinion,
you virtue
and it's right,
signal, and one side goes, "Oh my God, Norm, you're so woke," and
he wants to be a woke bae, but he's as confused as we are. Like, it's gotten kind of out of control, and he's like, man,
you're not going to solve anything, Norm.
No,
okay? You're not going to solve the issue.
Your tweet is not going to fix it. All it can do, the only possibility, is you being fucked. That's it. I'm happy that me too. Have you seen his new stand-up, by the way?
Well,
was that Bob Dylan or was it
interview.
Norm Macdonald?
I was trying to be Norm, but yeah, it's probably more like, yeah,
that's definitely more Bob Dylan than Norm. Norm's more like, what are you gonna do?
No, that was a good
thing.
No,
that
keep
is.
going. That was a good
that's
Norm.
how he does it. He kind of like, Turd Ferguson, huh? He kind of like.
See, Jay got a laugh. You think that's a good Norm?
It's better than yours.
It's
Sorry.
not good, but you're doing Bob Dylan for sure.
I'm not doing Bob Dylan. I mean, Turd Ferguson. Yeah. You want to do the story?
Shelter from
No,
the
I'm
storm.
good. Having said that, I love Norm. He's literally my favorite comic ever.
Norm is sweet.
Yeah, he's good. His new stand-up is funny as shit, too. It really is. I'm happy the Me Too movement, #Me Too movement, has slowed down a little bit. He told the Hollywood Reporter right there. It's just like, oh, dude, no. Stop right where you're at. He believed the movement to expose sexual misconduct in the workplace has gone off the rails in the year since the allegations of Harvey Weinstein. Used to be 100 women can't be lying. Then it became 1 woman can't lie. And then it became, I believe all women. And then you're like, what? Like that Chris Hardwick guy. I really thought he got the blunt end of the stick there. While in the past admitting wrongdoing and showing contrition could allow a celeb to move past some kind of misconduct. Now it's a career ender. It's not healthy. That there is no forgiveness, remarking that he had seen the impact on 2 of his friends, and he's talking about Roseanne Barr and Louis C.K. And that is true. I mean, we haven't seen much people making a comeback. I mean, Aziz Ansari is starting to creep back out there a bit. Louis C.K. did the stand-up at the club in New York. Roseanne was so broken up that I got Louis to call her, even though Roseanne was very hard on Louis before that. He was referring to that she floated rumors about him jacking it and shit around chicks long before it was publicly known. But she was just so broken up, constantly crying. There are very few people that have gone through what they have, losing everything in a day. Ooh, victims aren't going to like hearing that. People will go, what about the victims? But you know what? The victims didn't have to go through that.
Wait, what?
He's basically just saying that obviously the victims didn't have to, like, their whole career and life didn't end in 24 hours. It was just, I mean, whether it's right or not.
Victims aren't going to want to hear that.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, McDonald didn't believe she was racist at all, Roseanne, and that he used to write for that show back in the day. He was one of the writers on it in the original one, and that her opposition to Obama centered around her support for Israel. After the interview was published, he was forced to apologize on Twitter. Roseanne and Louis have both been very good friends of mine for many years. They both make terrible mistakes. I would never defend their actions. If my words sounded like I was minimizing the pain that their victims felt to this day, I am deeply sorry. You'll be glad to know the Tonight Show was supposed to have him on tonight, and they've canceled.
Oh yeah, keep him off.
Yeah, I mean, why would he go on Jimmy Fallon? And why, dude? How stupid is that, by the way? Why wouldn't you want to have him on and maybe even question him about it? What did you mean when you said this?
That is a funny point. Like, why?
Seriously, you're going to virtue signal and go, oh, it was so repulsive what he said. By the way, what he said was not that repulsive. We can't even have him on our stage.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Like, why couldn't you take it under the thing of, like, okay, we're just going to have you on, but we're going to ask about this? Like, why does it have to be, why does it have to just be like, oh, we just can't even have him on?
And it's not that he won't talk about it. He was on Stern today, and Stern's going to ask him about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, because intent doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
So the NBC is worried that they're going to get hit by people just going, just having him on is triggering me and damaging me. And I don't care. I don't want to hear him explain.
Well, they're still dealing
he
with
said what he said.
Right.
And that's
We all
it.
know what he meant. I mean, think about all the shit Fallon got for ruffling
I was just going to
Trump's
say,
hair.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, he was like a monster for that, as if that got Trump elected.
Mm-hmm.
Fallon ruffling his hair. Were they on SNL together, by the way?
Humanized him. I didn't remember Trump being on SNL, dude.
No, I mean Fallon and
Oh.
and Norm.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
because they both
I would
did.
guess, yeah.
There had to be some crossover there, right?
Yeah, I would guess so.
But Fallon took over that, the Weekend Update
Right.
thing, which is what Norm did, was so great at for all those years. I don't know. Is there any way to tell how long they were? He was on that show.
Norm. 1 second.
Not that it matters.
Norm was down in, like, early 2000s, wasn't he?
Yeah, they had to have been. You don't even have to look it up.
Hey, everybody. Zott Ford conducting its amazing Key for Key event. Exchange your current vehicle for a brand new 18 or 19 Ford without spending a dime out of pocket. Plus, their goal is to match or lower your monthly payment. Zott Ford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or lease, no matter what you owe. Give them the keys to your vehicle. They will give you the keys to a brand new Ford. Plus, Zott Ford will make your first month's payment. No hassles, no gimmicks, no pressure. Only from our friends at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, did you see Miss America lost almost 1 million viewers
No, but that's
their first year without that?
not surprising.
Yeah. Well, I thought it would be a big, ratings bonanza for him this year and then trickle off from there. But Nielsen said 4.3 million people watched, down 20% from the 5.35 million that viewed last year. Miss America is now under the leadership of Gretchen Carlson.
Yeah.
And it's not going as smoothly as they hoped. There's a lot of chicks who don't like her.
She's got to be in the mode of winding this thing down. How do we wind this down?
She should be. I don't think she is. So she's been criticized a lot. Minutes before the broadcast began, I guess they had one of those, a comic go on stage and warm up the crowd, get them all fired up. Yeah. He's like, yeah, welcome to the Miss American pageant, and there's no swimsuit competition this year. Boo! Oh. The whole house booed the shit out of that comic. So even in-house.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What sort of person goes to that? Like what? I mean, how big is this? How big is this venue? And what?
Well, I think it's big. It's not like stadium big, but it's full.
Like a
theater
huge
big.
theater.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
What would drive you to? How do you get
Big
tickets
fan
to
of
that?
You know, we're looking at
You
it
want to
now.
see talents on display.
Looking at it now, I wish I would have thought about it. That would have been something funny to go to. And then, like he said, like the idea that people were booing, like that would have been kind of humorous.
Dynamite question. I've
what-
never thought of
you'd
before.
have
Who
to
the hell
give-
goes there?
You can't. They can't be paying attendees. You have to be stocking the place with just people, right? I mean, what
Yeah.
would
well,
anyone pay to go watch that?
It's probably free, right? Aren't most of those shows?
It's probably just given to industry executive connections and things, right?
Yeah, but-
you're just trying to pack the place.
That is a dynamite question.
Who the fuck goes to
what-
those?
Maybe parents
Sure,
with
definitely.
kids that want to that would like to be there
Aspire
on
to be
stage.
there.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
in the
yeah.
pageant scene, maybe.
Yeah.
They're the family members of the pageant.
Who they, sure. I'll accept that. And they love putting a
Pageant
camera on
participants.
them as soon as their little special one tone deftly sings a song. It's like right to the parents who are
Yes.
just so filled with
So
joy.
good, so
Oh,
good.
amazing.
But who else, man?
Dude, that's a great question. It's not like you can be a fan of like past winners and like, dude, I got to go see the new tour this year.
Oh my God, the 2018 Miss America! I can't wait for that.
Like, can you imagine, bro? You want to go to Miss America pageant this
all
year?
50 states again?
Dude, it's fucking sweet. It's fucking sweet. I'm gonna get us tickets. I'm gonna wait in line, try to get us as close to the stage as possible.
And then let's say you do get tickets. What the hell do you wear, Mike? What do you wear?
I think at least a sport coat.
I would agree.
I think it's a sport coat event.
I would agree.
I don't know that you have to go full suit. Definitely not tux, but sport coat is.
Similar to what I would wear to the opera.
That is such. Why have I never thought about that? Like,
Who's
who
in the audience?
Fuck is in the audience, and why? Unless you're part of this idiot's family, no one knows any of these people.
All right, you have 50 participants, right? Last I checked, we still have 50 states.
Yeah.
Okay, got all 50 of them there.
Sure.
Let's say they each have 2 parents there plus 2 siblings.
Sure.
4 people times 50. Easus.
4 times 50.
200.
You sure about that?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention.
No, come on.
4 times 50.
What do you got?
200.
Too much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
All right, 200. Then you've got some industry insiders. Let's say
where are the other 3,000 coming from?
Yeah,
Go.
let's say
Go.
another 100 people just related to the show. You
Sure.
know?
Producers, family wants to go. We're proud of our daughter. She's backstage.
There's literally like 3,000 to 5,000 people in this place, right?
Sure. So you've got people backstage that are tweaking dresses, and that maybe they've got you get a couple free tickets. They give it to their friends. So let's just say 1,000 tickets are covered, right? 500 or 200 for family, and then we'll give a big range here. Another 800 tickets that go to family and friends and people behind the scenes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we still got 2,000 to 3,000 seats to go.
You think
Dude,
they do those
sell
things
these.
like
This was from 2014, but it says if you go single night tickets to this year's. This was again an article from 14, but Miss America's pageant went on sale Monday. Ticket prices range from $19.55 to $100, not including any service fees. So those,
if I meet the guy that paid $100,
if I find.
I might punch him in the face.
Well, what do you get for? There has to be some.
Unless you get blown by one of the contestants for your $100, if it includes that.
It's insane. I was picturing like the Metro LA Ford dealers come test drive a Fusion and get 2 free tickets.
It's not Three Dog Night in Steppenwolf. Dude, there can't be people that are just fans of pageants that are paying $100 for
Especially
decent seats.
it's in LA, right? Did you say?
Probably.
Or New
Or
York.
New
I thought it was
LA or New York
or something.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it was in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
Jersey.
I was going to say, in those 2 spots of the country, people are used to this shit going on. They're not impressed that there's a
Yes.
show down the street,
Totally.
But I guess in LA, I don't know. That's
We
a
need to- we need-
destination. At that point, you're going to Atlantic City
Yeah.
with the purpose of going to the show.
Yes. Watch some idiot twirl a baton.
If
another one do
anybody
the-
out there has
the
ever
river
been to
dance.
one of these pageants, let us know
Look at
what your
this, you can
thought
buy
process
merchandise.
was, why you did it.
I think going to the show and paying for tickets is worse than having that T-shirt. Like, if you want to have a Miss
That is
America,
awful merch.
it's terrible merch.
It says finally, it says it. What does it say here? Like, finally, the day you've all been waiting for.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
been waiting for this?
Miss America 2.0? Is that a reference to them not doing the
Yeah,
swimsuit?
like the reboot.
Yeah, I guess.
Gretchen Carlson-esque.
If I saw you walking down the street wearing that shirt, I would roll my eyes. But if I saw a guy with like a pair of tickets for $100 each to the show, I'd be way more disappointed in him.
Are
Yeah.
scalpers?
You know what I mean? Scalpers. And we got extras. You got 18 tickets in your hand, bro. What do you need? What do you need more for?
So anyway, the crowd though booed when they said there was no swimsuit.
Boo!
So-
They said loud boos rang down from the whole fucking place.
So the demographic there was pissed at the change.
Yeah.
Interesting.
the other problem is we were talking about, was it Nia Franklin? I believe she's the chick from New York that won it.
I'll take your word for it, Mike.
Yeah. Well, expect big things. You're going to hear the name Nia Franklin a lot in the years to come, but apparently she's only been in New York for a year.
What does that mean? Oh, she was Miss New
She's
York?
Miss New
Oh,
York.
she's a carpetbagger. She's a Hillary Clintonite.
It's kind of bullshit, though, isn't it? I mean, if you were in North Carolina your
What
whole
are
life,
the rules state? We are a nation of laws, Mike. What are the rules state?
I don't know what their state like.
Jesus.
What is it like if you're running for mayor of a town? You need to be established and living in that town, and people will move there right away last minute. Like, oh, I've been here the whole time.
Certain
Here I am.
requirements, like for a long time, Detroit police officers all had to live in Detroit. I think
Yeah.
that was loosened up because people are like, yeah, fuck you. I'm not
Yeah,
living there.
firefighters too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know,
But this, for sure, you should have to live there for some long period of time, you'd think.
although going to New York, it seems like I'm willing to cut her a little slack because it's like, who would go to? There's a lot of competition in New York. Like, pick Delaware. Like, move to Delaware last minute and be like, oh, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, New York.
Well,
of
you sure as
all
hell don't go to
places.
Texas. Texas kicks out the hot chicks every year, you know?
Great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I would go to Delaware,
New
Rhode
York.
Island. I like my odds.
Yeah,
in
but maybe
Rhode
there's
Island.
already some chick doing that. You know, you gotta look at the field.
You think
Yeah,
they're
that might already be
stacking the
claimed.
deck?
That strategy may already be claimed.
It's a great strategy.
You might
though.
run into a buzzsaw.
It's like, oh, that chick's hot as
Yeah.
shit and talented.
Yeah,
That's a legit
sitting
talent.
in Rhode Island, just ruling Rhode Island.
She's not going to do a spoken word. She's got an actual talent.
I mean, I'm picturing a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
You know?
And it only
Rhode
takes
Island.
one.
It only takes one.
You know, there's a lot of competition in New York. Anyway, so if you're out there, you know, people are upset about that.
Jesus, do we have a
Only been there for
ruling on
year.
that? What,
No, I was trying
does
to
a
find
year do
video
it?
of the booing, to be honest with you. I'd rather watch the booing if I could have found it than find out how long you need to live in a state.
I don't
to
think
be
it was
mis-
televised, dude. It was like
I know, but I was
warm-up.
hoping that maybe on YouTube someone had
Someone
filmed
filmed
it.
it,
but
yeah.
that's-
Oh, I hope it was loud. They
Yeah.
said loud boos were raining loudly down. I was like, ooh, I hope
send a
that's-
message.
I hope that was like Ford Field the other night because the boos were raining loudly down in that place.
You can tweak a product, but when you take the swimsuit competition out of Miss America, I mean, you're neutering that thing.
Dude,
you really are.
If you would have asked me, like, what's the one aspect of the pageant that can't go, it would be a toss-up between the Q&A, when they
Yes,
had dumb
right.
chicks on there answering ridiculous questions, and the swimsuit. That's
Sure.
it. Like, no one cares about the evening gown portion.
I was gonna say, like, the only other aspect I know is evening gown. What else? What other aspects?
don't they go to their
I mean, there's
hometowns and-
talent that they really don't show. They kind of just do blurbs of it. Oh, you know, look at so and so twirling her baton. They show
Right.
10 seconds of it.
Little river dance.
But there's the river dance, good move. So we've got what really do we have? We've got talent, we've got Q&A, and we've got evening gown now. Wasn't there like some effort to do like sporty wear or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
Was that in
Was
Miss
that-
Teen?
That was
It
Miss
might have been
Teen.
Miss Teen,
They
yeah.
were going to take it because
Yeah.
they were going to go more sporty.
And that was just their way of getting away from swimsuit, right?
Yeah.
Having the teens all in their bikinis. No, don't they go like to the finalists? Like they do a lot of stuff like, oh, here the girls are at the fucking famous fountain in New York.
Yeah, and there's
like,
a lot of
splashing
pageantry,
around.
pomp and circumstance, more circumstance with pomp. But
For sure.
what they do is they have like little productions, right?
Yeah.
They do a production number
Yeah.
to open the show. it's just
It
just
needs to
so
go away.
dated.
It needs to just go away. The fact that we're even talking about it still is ridiculous. It just needs to stop. But I think when they get to the finals, don't they like, oh yeah, let's go like American Idol or one of those. They go to the hometown.
probably.
And it's like, here she.
Yeah.
Here's the school she went to,
yeah,
and
here
she
she
goes
is feeding
there.
her horse, Molly. You know?
Exactly.
Dude, I remember watching Parks and Rec back in the day. They did like a scene where they were doing like a local talent, you know, modeling, whatever. And the one chick that wins, totally hot chick, just smoking hot, just takes a baton in short shorts and just dances around. She doesn't even attempt to twirl the baton. And
Did she
everyone
win, though?
Oh, yeah. And everyone is just like, hell yeah, hell yeah.
When you watch it, it's hilarious. It's like, oh, okay, that girl can play the piano. That's cool. She's obviously a absolute spoiled rich white bitch who got, you know, exclusive piano lessons her whole life, and she can play, you know, the 88s really well. And then it's like, oh shit, that girl doesn't have a talent at all. Oh fuck, yeah, she's stuck doing a poem about when she got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
That stinks. And then this girl thinks she can sing, but she can't. Like, it's remarkable the difference between, oh, that's a talent and that's not. And it's like, she had to come up with something. I had to do something, so I just wrote a poem. I'm doing spoken word as my talent.
That is ridiculous.
Well, luckily she had that cancer thing, or else she'd really been fucked.
It's a great point. Although, in her defense, like if I was up, and it's a long shot that I would.
God.
It's a very, very long shot that I would be up for Miss America at any point. But
You
if
could
I
be.
was,
Who's to say?
like, what would my talent be? Like, dude, I don't have any talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, you could go up there and, like, juggle a soccer ball, probably, Jay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do. Maybe 5 minutes of stand-up that would absolutely get you kicked out of the competition.
I mean, I
You
don't
could
know.
sing, Mike.
Nah.
You do your
When
impressions.
when the children cry.
Here's my impression of Kim Jong-un. Yes, very good.
you guys like impressions?
Could you imagine going up there? Yes, so, yes, I mean, Kim Jong-un. I've had 18
good.
foreign ones 1 year. First time out to Gurfing. Yeah, I don't think that would go over well. What would your
Can you
talent
do
be? Stand-up?
impressions anymore? I wonder, like as comedy in
that
general.
one. Not that
like
one.
in
No.
general, but even like
It's outmoded.
Even if you did Mike Lindell, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right, like it's like
yes. Here's my impression of Ron Reagan. Yes.
And
The
if you think
duck's
about it,
warmth actually saved my life because I passed out in the snow.
even if you're doing
Passed out.
impressions,
Stop. Just imagine going up there. My wife's really going to be upset about this.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
Hoping to God that a handful of people in the crowd listen
Like,
to our show.
Is that Jesse Ventura or no? It's Mike Lindell.
Anybody from Minnesota? Yeah, I do a great Minnesota impression. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Would you do? You would have to do 5 minutes.
I don't
stand-up.
know. I
Would
don't
juggle
think
it.
I could do anything.
Jay would
I'm
juggle
trying
a
to
soccer
think.
ball, but
Yeah.
I'm fucked, man. I'd be up there doing spoken word. I'd be doing a poem about something. I would have to. I have any other choice.
You know what Merk Leibovitz would do? He'd get up there and manage your money.
He'd get up there with a portfolio.
That's right.
And a pen.
Speaking of Mark Leibovitz, does your money work as hard as you do? You'll spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you'll be able to retire on your terms? How could you know if you don't have a plan? Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call Mark today. It's highly recommended. He's a great dude. 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. Seriously, give him a call. Have him look at your stuff. If he can't do anything for you, he'll be honest and be like, hey, you're in good hands where you are. Otherwise, he'll give you some advice, and maybe it makes sense to come aboard with Mike, or with Mark. He's a great
Yeah,
dude.
don't come aboard with Mike.
248-626-2000.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Only if you like money, though. If you're not a fan of money or whatever, don't even bother calling Mark. He won't be able to help you because he's in the business of making you money.
He is.
You know. Did you see the cartoon that blew up the net yesterday? The racist cartoon.
No.
About Serena Williams.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That cartoon.
Were you offended by that cartoon? Were you like, oh boy, that's going to cause a problem?
To be honest, I kind of just...
the Herald
just looked at it
Sun
quick and
in Australia.
moved away. Welcome to the PC world.
That's
well, here's the
that's
Her portrayal is,
here's the actual just the full-on cartoon. That's actually
people were pissed on a couple levels. At the cartoon of Serena, they felt was racist, and then they thought it was bullshit that they took this Oksana whatever chick and made her look like a white chick.
I guess.
she looks brownish gray to me, but whatever. The umpire definitely looks white, right?
Yeah.
He's pinkish, fleshy, pinky.
Was it Carlos Ramos or something?
Sure.
They got the visor down because they wouldn't know how to handle the eyes thing. You know what I mean? Like in the cartoon, it was like, dude, I can't.
Yeah, it certainly
I don't
doesn't
even think I
make
can draw
Serena
that.
look attractive, but neither does the Trump caricature along
Right.
with this. It's a caricature, right? Caricatures are outlandishly ridiculous.
Right.
And they take a feature. I think any caricature artist would tell you this. They look at your face and they go, all right, that and that is what I'm really
I'm gonna highlight these things that
and they
make you
blow it
upset.
up, you know?
They would take my whatever that thing is that looks like Africa or whatever.
Your
was it yours that looked
liver
like
spot.
My liver spot, and they would blow that up, to look like Gorbachev.
Yeah, yours is more Eastern European than
Which
mine
side
was.
is it on? I don't know. I'm not looking
It's
at
that side.
It's this side. Yeah.
Mine went away.
I
don't
know, dude, which is bullshit. I don't know how that happened. Like I was hanging on to the fact that Jay's got one too, but
No,
then yours went away.
it cleared up. It's good living.
So what we're talking about right now is there's a cartoonist that works at this paper, the Herald Sun in Australia, and Mark Knight is his name. And he did this cartoon of Serena Williams because obviously it was the biggest story in the country all weekend, her having a tantrum and bitching at the umpire and all that and blah, blah, blah. We talked about it the other day. And so this picture, they were like, fuck you. This was not racist at all. He does this with everybody. And so they were like, their headline today was, welcome to the PC world with all these other cartoons. Here's a fat Kim Jong-un. Here's Trump looking ridiculous, along with Serena. Who else they have there? So that's Obama, right?
Yeah, I mean, caricatures have been around for,
forever.
Decades, if not
who
100 years.
So that's Obama as
Hannibal
Lecter with the mask on.
And what do you think about Obama? You look at him and you go, he's got big ears. So a caricature artist would go, I'm going to exemplify those ears.
We got Fozzie Bear, right? I'm assuming. Is that supposed to be Hillary?
Maybe.
We should be able to know who it is from the caricature. But anyway, the paper has come out to say now, we're not racist. You're too sensitive. That's how they handled the criticism of the Serena Williams cartoon. Welcome to the PC world. If the self-appointed censors of Mark Knight get their way on his Serena Williams cartoon, our new politically correct life will be very dull indeed. I would agree with that. So they reprinted the picture of Serena. They added controversial cartoons, including the fat Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. What the paper, they mockingly noted the paper would now be a satire-free zone. And what the paper is failing to acknowledge is how racist used cartoons featuring exaggerated lips, hair, and noses and other features to mock and dehumanize black people for centuries. He defended his work, Mark Knight, saying the world's gone crazy. It's a cartoon about poor behavior. It has nothing to do with race. I'm sorry it's been taken by social media and distorted so much. I've tried to reply to these people, but they don't listen. I could have told them that in advance. Like, no. Don't try to defend yourself because they're not going to listen to you. Just like they don't listen to us. It's just, there's no way to win that. I guess I can see, if I just look at that picture, I can forecast that people are going to be offended by this. Like it's an easy thing to go, yeah, I'm offended. Oh my God, look at the big lips on her and look at the hair. I don't think it's racist in any way, but I can tell easily that people are going to have a problem with it. You know what I mean?
Well, unless you can crawl into the artist's head, I don't know how you would know whether it's racist in any way.
Good point. Hey, let's take a very quick time out, Jay. And then, you know what story we haven't talked much about is the
cop that shot the guy in the wrong apartment?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
We'll do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. With Mike and Jay. And I didn't mention it earlier, Jay, but we've got to get to E's history, day in history today.
Hey, it's this day in history with Big E.
Yeah, he's going to be gone tomorrow. I know a lot
What?
of people. I can hear the applause right now. In the back. Listen close. Can you hear the
cleared
applause?
with us? This was cleared in
I thought it was
advance?
clear with you. It was not clear with me.
It's not cleared with me.
Well,
Jesus, explain yourself briefly.
I've mentioned it even on this show.
Is this EDM related? Because if it
No.
is, free pass.
No, it's not.
You have to continue your journey, as we all do.
only
As
Jay
we
is
all
giving
do.
you a free pass.
I think I've even said it on this show. I've started to reference a wedding I'm going to. I've had this wedding planned.
getting married?
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to Holy's wedding in Boston.
Allegedly,
well,
Holy is still alive.
yeah,
And-
well, last I knew, Holy was buried under Zot Ford
Yeah.
in
No,
Holly.
sorry, she's not. She's alive.
How's she
and
looking these days, by the way?
Fine, I guess.
Hot
I don't know.
or I mean, come on, she's getting married, dude. I mean,
Fine. I'm
Hot?
Not, I don't know. I don't look at. I actually don't really pay attention. Not really that close with a lot of my family, but I'm trying to get better. That's why, hence me going to that reunion a few years ago and then doing this. If
I don't think you've talked about that reunion, E.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, that was where I referenced that there was some
Yes, that young cousin.
young cousin where I was
yeah.
like,
Oh, shit.
what's this
I
girl
thought-
doing
I remember
here?
changing her diaper, and he was like harkening back. He's
man,
like,
I'd
"Oh
like
my
to
god,
bang her.
I
She's
saw
hot
that.
now."
I saw that snatch."
Yeah,
man."
I got to
And
see
Of course,
her.
there was poop smeared all over it. but-
Yeah, and it was shaved. She was like one. It was shaved.
Oh
It's awesome.
God, he.
I
Jesus,
didn't
shame
know. I
on
just
you.
saw saw a cute person.
In his defense, I
had
went to a
seen her
family
literally
reunion
in
in
18
Chicago years ago, and I was like, God, that chick's hot. I'm like, fucking idiot. These are all your family members.
But see,
it was someone I'd never seen before. I didn't know her name or anything.
But I could, in my mind, I just didn't remember. Like maybe one of my friends had a girlfriend, or
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. I literally
Sure.
hadn't seen her in more than 18 years, and so I just saw a cute person. I go, oh, why is that person doing here? And then like, that's so and so. I'm like, oh,
Oh, my first cousin. Cool. Yeah. So we'll get to E's history in just a moment. We did mention before the break the cop that shot the black guy.
Yeah.
White cop, female,
Crazy
shot a black
story,
guy.
man.
I still hate when they lead with it, and maybe it is race related. Who knows? But
Yeah.
when there's like, oh, a white cop shot a black, it's like, no, a cop shot a fucking guy.
This is crazy. This circumstance.
Dude, so she does like a 12-hour shift. Her name is Amber Geiger, and she does like a 12-hour shift.
4 years on the force, something like that.
Yeah.
With Dallas, right?
Dallas, exactly. And she's got an apartment just a couple blocks from the police station, and she lives on, I think, the 3rd floor.
Correct.
And she goes up to the 4th floor. She thinks she's going into her apartment, and there's some, discrepancy about what happened. If the door was open, unlocked, if he opened it for her, because people are like, dude, how do you walk into someone's apartment and not know that it's not yours? She ends up, there's some sort of altercation, and this poor black guy's an accountant sitting in there.
I don't think there is an altercation. I think she sees the figure in the apartment and she fucking blasts 2 rounds into him. Fuck. So this is what my understanding of the story is. She comes home, she parks on the 4th floor instead of the 3rd, and I guess it's one of these deals where the
the
parking
apartments look the
structure is
same.
right next to the apartment building. All the apartments look exactly the same whether you're on the 2nd, 3rd,
Sure.
4th, 5th floor. And so she enters the apartment building on what she thinks is the 3rd floor. She's actually on the 4th. She goes to what she thinks is her apartment, but
It's
is
not.
actually this guy's. And she says that she put her key into the door and it must have been ajar because it opened with her key. Like it just clicked open, and then she saw this figure inside her apartment and exchanged some
Botham
words or
Jean
something,
is
and
his
just
name.
boom, boom,
and shot
took him down
twice.
to Chinatown.
Yeah. And so, I don't know how that happens. She's been charged with manslaughter.
Yeah.
Facing
Well, the
2 to
family
20.
and Benjamin Crump are arguing it should be murder.
I know. If you haven't, please go into our interviews tab and listen to our interview with Benjamin Crump.
He's something, man.
Jay gets Jay.
No, you're
got,
overstating it.
No, you got fucking called him out pretty hard, dude.
Overstatement. But
No, I don't
it
think
was
so.
a fun interview.
Yeah. Anyway, the family of her now, the cop, are having to come out and defend themselves. Like, we're not racist.
Oh my god!
Swear.
Like, damn! How the fuck?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I guess there's video that another person in the complex shot of her on her phone going, oh my god, after he shot and killed this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to revive him. Paramedics got there. She called 911.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been out of our minds, tired, right? And
Sure.
and you get home sometimes. You're like, how did I even drive home? I'm like dead tired. Like you do things on autopilot. Mm-hmm. God, I guess it's possible, right? That she just entered this thing, thought it was her apartment, yells to the guy to.
Is it though? I mean, if she entered, I have a real problem if she actually entered the apartment.
Well, it's dark.
Yeah.
So
I don't
yeah,
know, man.
no,
It's-
dude, believe me, it's fucking weird. You'd think you'd enter and you'd immediately go, wait, those are different pictures on the wall.
Yes. That's on my couch. Why is this guy breaking
What a-
into my house and bringing his own shit in here?
Black family move in my apartment while I was gone.
Dude, what an awful, awful story, and it sucks.
Yeah, by all accounts, this dude's a great guy, and you
Yeah.
know, what the fuck?
Families all over, demanding justice, and I don't blame them. Well, now people are scouring, like her and her family members' social media accounts,
See if there's any racist inkling,
anything, and they've got
any OK signs being flashed in pictures.
Yeah. Mom is wearing a white All Lives Matter shirt. And they're like, no, son, her sister, Amber's sister, got that from Mom after the 5 officers were murdered in Dallas. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
That guy was like,
And then the
Black Lives
robot
Matter.
killed him, right?
Yeah, robot killed him, exactly.
Only death by robot in the U.S. to this point, I believe, right?
Is it?
Wasn't that? Didn't you declare
Maybe.
that the
Yeah,
other
maybe.
day?
Yeah,
so it was
maybe.
the first time a robot actually went and killed the perp.
And I'm glad he did. Honestly, I'm on Team Robot on that one. So Mom's wearing a proudly All Lives Matter shirt, which is, a signal that Black Lives Matter bullshit, all lives matter.
Right.
People have taken it that way. Now her brother, let's see, doing in that picture.
Yeah, were you guys aware of this this white power?
Yeah, I have.
Had you heard that?
Really? What is it? The symbol again? This thing? or-
Okay, like doing
Okay, which makes like a white.
But
and then
doing
the P.
this, like, hey, are you
He's-
good
dude,
to go when I do this?
He's doing two-handed.
Let me see.
One forming a P
Yeah.
and one forming W.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, if you do your index and thumb together in the okay, how you doing? Okay.
I prefer to
sign.
think maybe he just hit a tray.
3.
you know,
Yeah, that's true. We
maybe
gotta.
it's just-
We can't have refs doing that
You
anymore.
know, he just
Three.
he just drained one, Steph Curry style, and he's just running back.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, it makes the W. Your 3 extended fingers make a W, and then your OK makes a P, I guess.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. So for white power,
Damn.
and they've got Trump. Trump does it all the time. It's like he's racist. Look, he's doing the white power.
I had
sign.
not heard of this before the Kavanaugh hearing last week, where they charged Kavanaugh's aide with flashing a white power sign intentionally.
Yeah, which is kind of weird though. Her sitting arms folded doing this. Like, why would
I don't know.
I mean, I get
you fidget.
I don't
Dude,
think.
I fidget all the time over here, right? While we're doing this,
Sure.
I'm constantly dicking around with pens and with these squishies that.
Yeah, but
sweet
you're not
pie-
doing white power.
No,
signs.
but I'm doing weird shit with my
You're not
hands.
flashing gang
and if you freaking stopped, if you freeze framed me, I'm sure you could catch me doing some dumb thing that you could misinterpret.
Yeah, listeners caught you picking your nose once.
Yeah,
Caught
definitely.
E several times doing that, picking his butt, balls, and nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for some context, because they have come out and said, "Dude, we're not racist." This apparently the symbol he's giving here. People are like, "Oh my God, it's a white power symbol." He's doing it twice on his.
Yeah.
He's saying it was my dad's 69th birthday, and I'm doing the 6'9". That's what I'm doing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems like a pretty good.
It's not bad.
69.
That's a pretty good explanation. If that can be confirmed, boy, that.
Yeah. However, if you look at it though, it looks more like he's doing a P rabbit face than he is 69.
That would be a shadow puppet of a rabbit. Perfect. Oh my
Perfect,
God.
right? I didn't know you could do that with just the racist.
Just go hopping along, right?
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
But that's what he's saying is I was doing 6'9" for Dad's 69th birthday. That's all that was. They were celebrating Dad's birthday. My last name is Garza. I'm a Mexican. I don't care about your nationality. I don't care about the color of your skin. We all bleed red. Is that true? Have we ever confirmed that?
I think that's true, man.
Is it?
Human beings, yeah.
Heard that before. I would hate to go on our airwaves and declare as a fact that we all bleed
Actually, isn't
red.
blood blue?
I've heard
until,
of blue bloods.
But it's,
Heard that too.
no, but blood is blue until oxygen hits it and makes it red, right?
Listen to
So-
Easus, yeah. That's why we see our blue
right.
veins.
That's why your veins aren't red.
Very good, E. I am not a racist, he has declared. Yeah, so I don't know, dude.
It's just a tragic story.
It's a tragic story. I mean, is it possible? People are asking the question.
Is it
I think it's
possible that
fair.
she set this up? It was like, I fucking hate that guy above me, that
Yeah.
goddamn black guy.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed at the end of my shift, and I'm going to go end this guy. I guess it's possible.
anything's possible.
Yeah.
They say that she's been there for, 4 months or within the last year, I think she moved in, and had no contact with him.
Yeah.
As far as people know right now, she doesn't know him.
Right. I'm sure they'll be looking into whether there was any complaints by her, like, hey, man, quit stomping around your goddamn apartment, that sort of shit.
Black guy playing his rap music all night, driving me crazy. You know, she's like, feels awful. Cops that know her are saying, oh, my God, she's devastated by this. And I think it's a fair question. If a white guy opened that door a crack, does she immediately go for her gun and shoot him twice? We'll never know. I mean, she's not going to go, if he was white, I probably would have just had a discussion with him.
The key to the whole thing is her explanation of what she perceived, like, because the way I read the story was he's not opening the door for her. The way I read her side of the story is he's kind of in the distance in the apartment, and he's a shadowy figure that stands up or is there. She can't see exactly who it is. I don't know if she gives him orders and he makes some sort of...
She claims she gave orders that he didn't follow.
Okay.
But why would he? He's in his own fucking apartment. I mean, dude, he's an accountant.
Could this just be one big misunderstanding?
Totally. Probably is.
Or it could be that she's a racist bitch and wanted to kill this black guy. It could go either way.
It could. And they're even saying that. Like, we don't know right now. We need
a crazy story.
When they say, like, we need to examine the facts, blah, blah, blah. Like, whenever they say that, I'm always like, oh, bullshit. We know what happened. Come on. In this case, you need to examine the facts because you need to know, because that's huge. If they had contact, if there was even one complaint filed, we should, like, that could, who knows?
It doesn't answer the question, but it is definitely relevant.
I think it's definitely relevant. The other thing is, I saw people posting this on Twitter. I don't know if this is true or not, but I will say this. People are apparently taking videos of them at that apartment complex with their key to the door and opening it, saying that the door was not ajar. These doors automatically close. Once you open them, they shut.
Okay.
So
like a hotel door, like it just swings shut and locks automatically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to say that the door was ajar and you walked in with your key, like, no, that wouldn't happen. So whether or not that's factually true, I'm telling you right now, I don't know.
All sorts of forensic testing as to whether that can happen, and
for sure. But that's what I've seen on Twitter is people going, I live in this apartment complex. Here's our key. Here's how it works. And then as soon as they open the door, it fucking shuts.
Then if she, what a chilling thing. Like, that is, imagine this guy.
Yeah.
Like, what he's thinking.
Oh,
in the middle of the night, wait, who are you? Ba-boom. Like, what the fuck, man?
And then it's an awful story. It's a terrible story. Terrible story. But, you hope that there aren't people walking amongst us that are just, like, targeting individuals because of their color. But, I mean, I suppose anything's on the table. She's facing some serious charges.
The media would love it if there were.
Oh, my God. If they found notes on her computer, like fucking Negroes, whatever.
How could we know who amongst us could be one of those people?
Yeah. No, it's terrible. My guess is, trying not to be too cynical, but my guess is it's probably a horrible misunderstanding. She honestly believed that there was a man breaking into her place and blah, blah, blah. And, going to your gun right away. I mean, if you think there's a burglar in your house, why wouldn't he have a gun maybe? I could see going, I don't have time to question this motherfucker. He broke into my house already.
And he's coming at me.
Yeah. I'm a cop in uniform. I don't know, man. It's a terrible story, though, nonetheless. Isis, we've talked too long. I want to learn something. Jay, you up for learning something today?
This day in history with Big E.
It's actually pretty timely for us, as we have two of these things sitting right over here that we just recently...
Those are Smurfs, see?
I know.
That's Smurfette and Brainy Smurf, I believe.
Yes.
It was on this day in 1981 that the Smurfs aired on NBC.
Nice.
Nice.
There's Gargamel and Azrael.
Israel.
Cat.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, though, I don't know how much you knew about the Smurfs before this.
Oh, I know a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
How much?
Big fan of the Smurfs.
Oh, yeah?
I know I want to bang Smurfette.
Well, here's the
Me
thing.
too, for the record.
The Smurfs were originally, technically debuted in, 1958.
Wow.
In this, cartoonish thing by this...
like a comic strip type thing, yeah.
And they weren't even the main
By the same guy that made it in the 80s?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. But they were not the main... They weren't even the main things. It was another comic book. And these guys just... In the story, it's like this medieval kind of time. And these guys come across...
Gross.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Across these, little, dwarves in this thing.
And what is that, German?
Yeah. Oh,
no. I don't...
Oh, French.
Shit.
French?
Yeah, French.
What does it call them? Strumpfs?
Yeah.
Instead of Smurfs? It's
Yes,
Strumpfs?
that was the original name, which, by the way, the word came from this guy was in a dinner conversation, and I guess this is how they say, he momentarily forgot the word for salt, so he just made up this word. And then, so he made up this schrumpum, SCHTROUMPH. And Smurf.
Boy, that seems like a long way to go when you can't remember salt.
That's what he might be just a goofball. I don't know.
Stroomps?
But Smurf is
Can you give me a bottle of Stroomps?
Smurf is the Dutch translation, I guess, for that word that he made up. That's what they say.
Very interesting, Isis.
So the thing is, the Smurfs were like huge over in France in that like 70s.
Literally,
even,
not figuratively.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they live in mushrooms. I mean, they're
Okay,
weird.
well, they're only 3 apples high, as we all know.
Is that what they are? Are they
Yes,
3 apples
I
high?
pictured them as smaller than that.
I did
to be
too.
honest.
Describe them as 3
How does-
apples.
I mean, an
Wait.
apple is yay high, right?
For sure.
So you're
I mean,
talking
you're-
yay high times 3?
I mean, are we talking about a Granny Smith? Are we talking about a?
Oh my God! I mean,
standard-
you're rivaling the Star-Bellied Sneetch stuffed animal over there. If you're talking 3 apples high, right?
Absolutely. And how do you fit that into a mushroom house?
This doesn't make sense.
Well, it says Smurfs
I mean,
are
I thought of them as a little bigger than an ant. To be honest
mind
with you.
blown.
Smurfs are said to only be 3 apples high, but they can live hundreds of years. In the cartoon's 6th season, Grandpa Smurf returned from a 500-year-long
Papa
journey
Smurf.
around the world.
Grandpa or Papa?
It says Grandpa Smurf is just what it says
Papa
here.
Smurf.
Papa Smurf, sure.
Come on.
Anyway, but the thing is, though, like, they were huge, even into 76.
Were they huge or were they small?
Okay, popular. They were popular as fuck. And in 1976, they had their
So
first
I'm
full-length.
confused. You
Okay,
just said they were 3 apples high, and now you're saying they're huge. so-
they're very popular in other countries, even into 1976 when they had their first full-length movie.
And we knew nothing of them.
Right,
here in
and
the
what
States.
happened
No.
is that some dude from
Fuck her, man.
Yeah,
God
I'm
damn
with
it! Look
you.
at that. I mean, she's not.
Does that
she
skirt
doesn't have
lift up
huge
at all?
tits? No, you can't see under it or anything. I actually pictured them about this high, maybe. Like this is actual size Smurf.
Oh, you're right. I
That's like-
pictured a little bit bigger, but
Did
yeah,
you?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you consider that? Like an apple? High?
yeah, 1 apple high. I would say that.
Like a
is.
smallish apple high.
I don't know what apples. Dude, apple could be some
I would
weird.
say like a standard gala apple high.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, here's the thing.
Not crab. I was thinking crab. Even
Well, that's my thing. If we're going 3 apples high, then we must be talking about crabs.
crabs. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
So in 1976, this American media and entertainment entrepreneur, Stuart R. Ross, just goes over there and sees all this fucking shit, and he ends up going to the guy who rates it. He gets some rights to it.
He's like, Americans would love this shit.
Right, comes back and just merchandises the fuck out of
Yeah.
it. And then NBC president Fred Silverman, they went to Aspen, and his daughter fell in love with this Smurf doll she
The
found
amount
in
of
Aspen.
shows that have taken off because some fucking executive's kid is
Yes.
into it. It's remarkable.
Well, I will say this. I do vaguely recall the Smurfs being like a merchandise thing before the show was on my radar.
Really?
So I do remember that
What, on
period of
lunch
time.
boxes and stuff?
Yeah, or maybe
It
like
doesn't really
a
say
stuffed animal or
specifically, but
something.
it says this executive NBC, his daughter was so in love with this Smurf that she buys that he goes,
Yeah.
dude, this should be a show.
Yeah.
And they turned it into a cartoon, which ends
I
up
agree with him, too.
running in
It's a great
1981
show.
to like 1989. Some say that was one of the most successful Saturday morning cartoons ever.
It was a big show, righty?
Yeah, huge.
But
I
the
mean-
Smurfs were not big. You're not
No,
saying the Smurfs
exactly.
were big.
Not
Okay.
Not
exactly.
at all. No, they're wisps.
Now here's
3 apples high.
Here's something.
It was all Smurfette though. I tuned in because I wanted to bang Smurfette.
Well, here's the thing.
Isn't that why we tuned in?
Here's the thing about Smurfette. Sounds like the creator of the Smurfs. His name is some weird name, P-E-Y-O. He's some weird name, anyway. But he
P-E-Y-O.
he may or may
P-O,
not have been a
P-O.
little sexist. And when I say may, it sounds like that he was. Smurfette was basically
It's a
created.
horrible allegation. You better have facts to back
Dude,
that
they
up.
say that Smurfette was basically created, where does it say here about that she was like she wasn't supposed to be a strong women figure. It was supposed to be like this girl that just got in the way and like nagged the men to get what she wanted.
Yeah.
Like he did not. I'm trying
Made
to.
her
So not,
bitch.
not like the big deal she became.
Yeah, no. I mean, it says.
Wait, are you saying that she was big or
Well,
are these
here's
things
here's
small?
all. I'll just read it.
I'm
Here's
confused.
I am too, because he keeps saying
The
that.
70s
big
was not-
deal. It was like, dude, I heard they were 3 apples high.
I heard that too.
Okay, well, Pyro. They say that this guy was not the most pro-woman person. If you read the old Smurf scripts,
Pyro. There wasn't an R in his name anywhere.
P-O. It was clear that the Smurfettes are a vain troublemaker that existed to tempt and nag
Just
male
called the guy
Smurfs
basically an arsonist.
into getting whatever they wanted. Now Smurfette fared a little better in the 80s cartoon, but that was only because he was not the full-on writer. But he's still like the little impact he had, tried to make sure that she was not meant to be like a strong
Sounds like a
female
Wonder
character.
Woman thing, you know?
Really?
He was the guy that was like a BDSM fan when he drew Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to go back and watch a Smurfs episode to see if you're righty.
That's what there's.
But she was a tease, wasn't Smurfette? Wasn't that? Do you remember, Jay? Like, I don't think anyone fucked her. Maybe
there was always
Papa
that
Smurf.
tension.
Maybe
There was always that feeling like she was being fucked, but
she didn't fuck Brainy Smurf or Clumsy Smurf or.
how about the guy with the tattoo, Hefty or whatever, the tough
yeah,
guy?
If anyone was gonna fuck her,
Yeah,
I'd be happy.
I kind of felt like he had the best chance.
But I don't, dude. I do not remember her shacking up with anybody on that series. She had her own place, did her own thing, and shut out everybody.
I remember her being
everyone.
a huge character. Was she a huge character?
I don't know. Okay.
See, I heard she was 3 apples high. Like, I don't know if she was a huge
See, 'cause
character
now
or
I'm
not. Because
confused.
I'm confused.
They were inspired, not a shock, probably by Nordic troll kind of fairy tales.
Sure.
They were blue because he thought children would like that color. That's just.
And we did.
Let me ask you this: you believe in fairies? Do you believe in Smurfs?
I mean, there's cartoon proof that they exist, so why not?
Great point. Great point. Well, does it say what the hang-up was with Gargamel and Azrael? Like, that guy fucking hated them. And I don't know
You know,
why.
I didn't look as much
I don't know
A
what
listener, we were talking about these
talked
guys
about this
like
at one point,
a
so I
few
didn't-
months ago, and a
Yeah.
listener chimed in and gave us the backstory of Gargamel and all that, and why he was after the Smurfs. It was something about their gold. Like, weren't they made of gold or something? Like he wanted to
Smurfs?
boil them
I kind
down.
of
Yeah.
forget, but you're right.
Well, if they're made of gold, I'm on Team Gargamel. I mean, that's a. I mean, that'd be
a treasure trove just
Oh,
sitting
my-
in front of you.
Are you kidding me? Be worth millions.
There's one more a few more kind of maybe interesting things. One was that some people look at the Smurfs back before the American version as one of the earliest things of like fiction zombie storylines, because they had a storyline where they had these Purple Smith. Well, they returned to the Purple Smurfs for the U.S. version, but in his version they were called the Black Smurfs, and they were basically kind of undead Smurfs that they would bite you, and zombie-esque in a sense.
Yeah.
And it was like it's credited as for being one of the first things out there to like fictionally write about like zombies, I guess.
So you're saying The Walking Dead stole their storylines?
I'm saying I'm saying
Smurfs?
before The Walking Dead. I'm saying the Night of the Living Dead was stolen
Wow.
from the Smurfs.
So this is like a big deal.
This
Dude, the
is
Smurfs were
huge.
fucking huge.
This is
over.
huge.
I'm
Okay,
confused
okay.
now.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay, they were fucking popular as fuck. Way before you saw
I
them
heard
on
they were
NBC.
3 apples high.
Okay,
Because that's not
And by the way,
a big.
Totally confused.
and for people who hate and people who are if people were bummed out when the Smurfs ended, Mike, your fucking one of
was.
your favorite fucking shows has to do with that.
Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Fuck yes. Yes.
They started changing some of the. They started in 1989.
was
NBC
timing.
changed with the format a little bit, removing some Smurfs, removing the Smurfs from the forest, and omitting the Smurf Village. And it says NBC went to more Today weekend programming for Saturday mornings, as well as teenager shows like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, well, Jay, if you remember, the Smurfs, they were big. But Saved by the Bell
Wait, back up.
was huge.
Back up.
Yeah.
Were they big?
Oh, shit.
By the way, it's a Belgium-based comic.
3
Even though
apples high.
they were popular in France, I should say it was a Belgium-based comic.
Love their waffles. Huge fan of the waffle.
God, I got to harken back. I'm sitting there surfing through
damn
my
it,
email.
look at that.
You take
Wow.
that dress off Smurfette. That's-
Shit. She shaved. Look at those titties.
Yeah, Bob sent us this picture. It's
Wow.
striking, gentlemen.
That is unbelievable. What does that say? What is the word there? I can't read that.
Oh wait, he's got a ruler next to it. This is interesting. I wish the ruler showed how
It says
high she was.
8 what is that? 8 inches we're seeing there, which is about. Come up from the bottom.
This is more than. This is. I'm sorry, less than 3 apples.
Yeah, for
You know?
sure. No doubt about it. That's yeah. God damn, she's got
Anyway.
great tits.
You know,
Who knew?
one more thing, by the way. Along with
Wow.
the claims of bigotry and sexism, the Smurfs were also frequently criticized in an attempt to get like youth into like communist ideals, portraying the Smurf village as like godless and Marxist utopia.
Wow, that's huge.
I know.
It's big.
Just saying.
I didn't notice that when I was 5, but you know, now that you mention it, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Good work, Jesus. We learned
Nice
something.
job, E. Good work.
We do have some email, Mike.
Let's get to it.
Well, before we get to email proper, I'd like
Oh,
to
for the
engage in a
love
short
of
reading of
fuck.
post. We received from the Yukon, Canada,
What?
a post of the Eagle Plains Hotel. Used to be huge, opinions like Nuge and covered in spooge. First gas station in 200.
I don't have
200
opinions like nudes. That's not fair. Sometimes.
You might be used to be huge. I don't know. Used to be huge, opinions like Nuge. Maybe
are
he's
you
a sign-
opinions like
Maybe
Nuge?
covered in spooge. First gas station in 230 miles. Fun fact, Eagle Plains is one of 2 cities in the world, listen to this, where the airport's runway is the local highway.
What?
Gibraltar is the
No
other.
way. I don't believe that.
Can you imagine that?
Wait, so this road right here is the fucking runway?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Air traffic has to, like, navigate with automobiles, too.
Wow.
That is
You want to
crazy.
send them an email? They've got their email on here. If you want to send an email to Eagle Plains Hotel, you can.
If you would like to write into the show, please do so at email@detroitcast.com. Of course, if you'd like to post in or send us other wares, P.O. Box 250268, Franklin, Michigan 48025. Now, Sarah writes in. This is following up on her incredible kaleidoscopic journey of Toledo.
Sure.
She provided us that awesome 14-picture post.
Stunning.
A lot of commentary about the East Siders.
Yeah, she fucking hates them.
So she wanted to follow up on that, and she also wanted to push back on you pushing back on the notion that Toledo mail goes to Detroit first. You'll remember that.
Yeah, I think that's
that
bullshit.
fact. She
And
said
I think she got fucked over by a boyfriend who lived on the east side. That's all I could come up with.
She gets to both of these issues.
All right.
Greetings. I appreciate the fact that you trusted in my post office wisdom, Jay. But because Mike needed some extra fact checking, I included a link from 2015 informing Toledoans of the reroute.
Toledoans.
Toledoans of the rerouting of mail.
They're actually Toledanites.
Of the rerouting of mail to Detroit. Also, I do have a postal carrier brother who confirmed this, but a screenshot of a text confirmation from him didn't seem like it would pass any Mike test.
Fuck, no, it won't.
Sending a postcard to my neighbor would support my brother's job and not place me on the spectrum, you fucker.
It doesn't make sense, dude. She's going to mail something to her fucking neighbor, which is stupid right out of the gate. She should just go take it over to him.
That's just an example.
It's stupid. Just take it over to him. What are you
Okay, well,
fucking
what if
mailing
it's
it for?
what if it's-
Why would they send it to Detroit and then back to the neighbor? It's just dumb.
What
It doesn't
better
make any
way is there
sense.
to exemplify the ridiculous bureaucracy and inefficiency of sending Toledo mail to Detroit than Sarah sending a postcard to her neighbor?
Yeah.
Is there anything better than that?
Via Detroit? It's bullshit, dude.
Now-
I want to bring back the Pony Express if that's the way we're going to conduct business.
Now, says Sarah, as to my disdain for the East Side, I was truly offended at Mike's suggestion that an East Side man had wronged me, as I would ever give an East Sider the time of day. I wish it were easy to explain just how disgusting that part of town is.
Wow.
Let me try to paint a picture. There are no grocery stores on the East. They do all their grocery shopping at the 7-Eleven or liquor stores. Also, there are an odd amount of baby strollers on the front porch of nearly every home. This is because no one has a car or even a driver's license on the East Side, and they use said strollers to do their grocery shopping. Their zip code is 43605, and they like to think they're cool by calling themselves 05ers, or that they live in the nickel. I love the nickel.
I love the nickel, too.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
tits.
the nickel.
Yeah.
They are the trashiest of white people with an excessive amount of tattoos. Come on, you can't judge people by the amount of tattoos. And a severe lack
Face
of teeth.
tattoos? Can you
She
judge?
does say many placed on the neck. Still, you can't judge people. And a severe lack of teeth. I hope this answered any looming questions. Heed my advice and avoid the East at all costs. Goodbye, BUI. And then she says, P.S. If I haven't described it to your liking, I will gladly give E an open invite to come have some beers in the Glass City and get the grand tour. I would even venture into the East to prove my point. However, I refuse to sleep with E to prove any point. Let me know. Way to anticipate our first question, Sarah.
Yeah, why wouldn't
that
she
was
sleep
well
with
done.
E anyways? I mean, she hasn't met him in person yet. What if they hit
Not
it
from
off?
the east side of Toledo.
Yeah, he's not an East Sider. Would you bang her, E?
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
Half this equation is done. He's in.
She sounds hot based on the post she sent us and the email.
She seems like she
Why
can
not?
write, or she can write sentences together. That's
sure.
gotta be good looking.
She
Sounds
can
like
write. She's got
a
good
female,
handwriting. Yeah.
Allegedly.
A
She's a
chick.
person named Sarah.
Yeah. Are there any men named Sarah?
Dave writes in concerning tackle ball. What up, fags? What up, fags?
What up, fags?
So I've wholeheartedly been using tackle ball when talking of the sport. Great way to promote the show when people ask what the hell I'm talking about. However, I ran into a problem that sounded a bit idiotic. While tackle ball works for the adult version, it sounds pretty stupid when talking about flag tackle ball or touch tackle ball.
Too bad.
So the dilemma is, do we change tackle ball? No. Or do we come up with a name for the kid version like pussy ball?
No. It's flag tackle ball.
Yeah, flag tackle ball.
Just flag ball.
Flag tackle ball.
Why even have
just
to have
call
the
it
football?
FTB.
Flag ball.
Touch tackle ball.
FTB.
It's as dumb as saying flag football.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? It's flag tackle ball. Keep up the good work,
At
E.
least flag tackle ball makes sense. Flag football doesn't.
0 cents. Keep up the good work, E. You are the heart of the show.
Wow.
I'm just fucking with you, says Dave.
Yeah.
P.S. Care package on the way.
Well,
Dave.
who's it addressed to? Care package. All of us, or just one of us getting
I
locked
don't.
up?
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not anthrax.
By the way, Steiner was over here the other day. You might know him as Douglas.
Douglas.
And he was like, dude, I listened to the show, and I used to frequently, reach out to Jay on email, whatever, and just be like, I fucking hate E.
Yeah.
You need to kill him or get him off the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, dude, the show can't be done without E. He said, I think at this point, I think I might
say
need
this
to go.
because you shouldn't even say this because now listeners aren't going to go to Doug.
Yeah.
He goes,
How do they
"Hey,
trust
what
that
kind of
judgment?"
judgment is that?
He goes, I think E might be the most unreplaceable person on the show at this point.
I would agree.
And I was like,
He's
dude,
the most unique.
I was like, yeah, that's what we were hoping for.
I mean,
People-
let's rank the replaceability. Me, number one for sure.
Oh,
no
without
questions asked.
question. And then me.
99% of white males out there could
No.
walk in here and do the exact same thing I do. But then you are probably more. There's probably more standard white guy in you than there is in E.
people wouldn't be hardcore for or against either one of us. But there will be people very hardcore for and against E.
It's polarizing.
So he's going to definitely get response will be high with E. If we
They
go,
say- they
we
say that's
decided
the
to
key.
fire E, response will be high. Like, fuck yes or fuck no. Like with us, it'd be like, whatever. Okay, Jay's gone. No, Mike left.
Bring in
All
a
right,
new
cool.
Jay.
Whatever. Let's go get a new Mike. New Jay.
Kim writes in, "Hi Jay, hi Mike.
Hi, Kim.
After listening to Jay talk about eggs a couple times, most recently in the members are. By the way, remember when Gab was chaperoning band camp?
Hell
Went
yeah.
with me
When
to
you
band
went
camp?
without closet time for like
Dude,
a week,
it
it was
was
terrible.
Awful. It was. She left me with Russell and Sweet Pie.
Yeah.
Fending for ourselves. I forgot to tell you the final tally on the number of eggs we ate because that's my thing. I make eggs and I
chickens.
grill stuff. You know?
Chicken breast.
We ate 69 total eggs in 6 days
How do you know that for sure?
because I kept track.
You did?
Yeah, I had packets of 18. And we ate 69 eggs in 6 days. Now, if anybody's worried about my cholesterol or my fat intake
don't eat
out there,
yolks.
don't worry. We don't do yolks. We
Yeah.
do like 1 yolk to 5
I
eggs.
was going to say, it's not that you avoid yolks completely, but
Yeah.
3 eggs, 1 yolk.
Yeah.
Ish.
That,
Too much work. Too much work.
And then we ate 17 and a half chicken breasts in 6 days. Is that too much? Is that too much chicken
Was there
byproduct?
any other food?
no,
in there?
wait, so wait a
I
minute.
opened some cans of green beans and heated those up.
Wait, between the 3 of you, you ate 17
Yeah.
chicken titties
Yeah.
in 6 days?
Yeah.
That's low.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. Because that's one. Wait, what's the math on that? E?
That's
Do the
3 a
math,
day.
Jeez.
That's 1 each
Three-
a day.
1 each a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I could easily do that. But the
Okay.
eggs, 69.
69.
Did you stop because you hit 69?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah,
sort
I
of.
would have too.
I was like, I could go 70, or I could leave it at 69.
Let's leave it at 69. Better story.
Anyway, Kim. Oh, and by the way, this is another observation I had. While Gab was away, I realized what a huge garbage producer she is.
Really?
I had 1 bag of garbage from the
Yeah.
kitchen
Yeah.
that went out and got put into our garbage can and picked up. This woman, I don't
She's
know,
producing a shitload
oh
of
my
garbage?
God, I
Well,
mean,
that's just
really?
women in general.
went
right?
a
No
whole
offense.
week, just me, Russell, and Sweet Pie, and produced 1 bag of garbage.
There you go.
She's
what is
home.
she doing?
We're filling the goddamn thing.
Like
Really?
worrying it's going to be the Wednesday night or whenever it is, and you're like, shit, man, shit.
Yeah.
What is she doing? What is?
I think she's cooking a lot more than I did.
Well, she needs to cut
Probably
that
just
shit
feminine
back. It's
products
not good
and
for the
shit.
environment.
Yeah, feminine product.
Probably
You're
the-
exactly
what are
right.
Yeah, a
those,
lot of tampons in there.
What are the fucking, the like balls of what? I'm trying to think that they like
Yeah,
puff
you got this. Yeah,
you got
cue
cotton-
balls
cotton
or
balls?
cotton balls.
cue balls.
So you think Jay's garbage week to week is loaded with cotton balls and tampons?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some explanation.
Are you
Dude.
accusing Gab of a massively heavy flowy? Is that what you're
I don't know. There's got to be some explanation.
I think the explanation is that she cooks a lot more, but I was astounded because
Yeah.
we don't have a full one of those ones that you have to wheel out to the the curb, and then
I wheel it out.
dude.
Mine.
We had 1 bag of garbage
Wow.
with 69 eggshells.
She's over garbaging.
Well,
Did you
it
address
does
this in the
sound like
house?
all
Did
you
you
did for
address this?
food was I made chicken breasts, which you're eating,
Yeah.
and eggshells, which once they're out of the eggs
Yeah, they're
out of there,
small.
what's in there?
Sure.
I mean, it's pretty. Not a lot of.
Not a lot of
space,
volume.
Not a lot
Yeah.
of volume in 69
Did you address
eggshells.
this with? Obviously, you went to the closet first, but after you
I
got done with the
did.
closet,
I was
did
like,
bring
"You
this
are
up?"
a huge garbage producer."
You're a
And she
garbager.
Shot back like, "Whatever. I'm the one cooking, and
Fair point.
damn watermelon rinds and stuff like that."
Oh,
What do you-
yeah, huge.
Kim continues. You talked about eggs a couple times, most recently in the members area. If you're not a member, you should join ASAP, says Kim. Not my words, they're Kim's.
Kim's words.
I felt compelled to write in with a correction. Eggs are not white because they're bleached. They are the color they are based on the chicken. There are many different hues of eggshells, and they happen naturally. While you are correct that eggs are sometimes bleached, it is to clean them, not to change the color of the shell. Well, how are they so uniformly white then? Are you saying we have the whitest of white chickens and we're excluding every other chicken?
I've seen brown and black chickens.
Well, she includes a picture and an article about this with a bunch of different hues of eggs. And these do not even look like chicken eggs to me. These look like Easter bunny eggs to me.
Yeah,
because
totally.
I see yellow, I see bluish,
Green.
I see pinkish.
Green, pink, brown, yeah.
So I think she's wrong that these are even chicken eggs. But okay, Kim.
Those are clearly brought by the bunny.
As the article below points out, many of the things we think are better choices, i.e. organic, free-range, cage-free, are meaningless. It is important to look for eggs with strong shells. I hope this clears things up for you, and unless you're racist against brown chickens, you should be able to eat brown or white eggs without issue. Love the show. Kim, wait, she didn't do a winky face. She did a smiley face.
I like that.
P.S. Mike, your birthday present should be arriving tomorrow, and it's not anthrax. Happy birthday, cult leader.
Thank you.
And we should end on that. It's Mike's birthday, and if you haven't already done so, please send him a Facebook post.
You don't have to do that.
There's nothing he enjoys more
I do enjoy a good Facebook post.
than getting a Facebook post, happy birthday.
What he likes the best, though, is not having it be unique in any way. Just having it be very
Happy B-Day.
generic.
Just happy B-Day.
Right.
Happy B-Day.
Don't write anything
always my
unique.
favorite.
Just write happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy B-Day.
Thank you, guys.
Loves
I can
this.
always count on you to
I'm
press
going to
this
do it
issue
right now,
every year.
actually.
Very good. E. I look forward to it.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.